on a sofa of a rather different kind, because our next guest is a mechanical genius, inventor and former presenter of Wheeler Dealers.
He's called Ed China. He's also an author. He's released his new autobiography called Junkie, and he's here with his first major invention. The very first thing he ever did, his sofa car that he calls the casual loafer. Hello,
I'm loving this.
I'm loving it. Pizza,
yeah.
A pizza for a steering wheel.
That's correct, yeah.
So you could call this Pizza Express. And there are many other fine pizza brands that you can buy in the high street. How did this happen?
Well, I was working doing the special effects for Father Ted, as you do, and I was doing, his Father Jack had a wheelchair, and one of the storylines, he was going to get kind of thrown off a cliff or up a hill, yeah. So we had to sort of power that, and that seemed like quite a good fun sort of idea, and then it kind of, one thing led to another, and I had this idea, it'd be great to be able to turn up at a restaurant, order your food, but still be actually outside, sort of thing. It was actually really, really dumb, and so, of course, in the end, I had to build it.
And this goes at 87 miles an hour?
That's the record we set, yeah.
What's the engine in it?
It's a Mini.
A Mini engine?
Yeah, so...
how come it's legal? Because I would have thought this is incredibly unsafe.
Well, that's the really cool thing about being in this country, is you have a big set of rules, and the idea is as long as you can comply with those rules, then, of course, everything's OK.
You just take it to a garage and say, I've got this sofa car, does it pass all the tests, and
sort of, a little bit more complicated.
So
that's basically it. Yeah, I mean, you basically go through all the rules and make sure everything's OK. So, I mean, obviously, the drinks can there is actually for the brake or the foot brake, and then the chocolate bar is the gears. You have a knee throttle. And I wanted to make a car that was nothing like a car. That was simple as that.
Well, I think you've achieved that much. But you do get some strange looks when you drive around in this one, don't you?
Well, yeah, but that's part of the fun.
And what about the police? Because I understand they're not always understanding of the fact that it might be perfectly legal.
Yeah, well, sure, back in the day, I mean, I think the record was like 19 times in a week or 20 times in a day, whatever, yeah. So, yeah, exactly. You get a lot of attention, but that was really the whole point. But now I've met most of them, so everybody's happy.
And we took you on a little drive around the capital streets, and actually you weren't necessarily the strangest vehicle on the road. Didn't you pull up behind a car with a sheep in the back?
Yes, which was quite surreal. I have no idea what that was about, but it was the sheep seemed happy, so, you know.
So there's a sheep in the back of that car? There is. What on earth?
That was a bit weird.
Well, look, I said this is the first one, so what year was this completed?
Well, this is 21 years old this year, which is terrifying.
But in this book, I mean, you talk about everything else you built. What are your favourites? Well,
I think, really, I mean, the sofa is kind of what started all kinds of... This is how I ended up on TV, this is how I met my wife, Imogen. It's, you know, it's kind of...
Your long-suffering wife.
Well, long-suffering wife, Imogen, yes, indeed. And I think, you know, we've got driving beds, bathrooms, you know, sort of giant shopping trolleys, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, all that ended up getting into the TV universe, and yes. Wheeler Dealers, of course, happened. And then I wasn't able to build anything because I was working so hard doing that.
On Wheeler Dealers?
Yeah, so it's like sort of 13 years or so. So then, and then now I'm getting to play again. So I've been playing with amphibious vehicles and ice cream vans, all kinds of stuff.
Yes, now tell us about ice cream vans, because, you know, some places are banning them because they're environmentally unfriendly, whereas you've come up with a solution, haven't you?
Absolutely, yes. So I've kind of developed a kit which will actually electrify the ice cream machine itself, and it can retrofit that to any ice cream van that's ever been made and any ones in the future.
So you are saving ice cream vans for the future?
The world, a little bit.
Love this. What a brilliant thing.
What's the next project?
Well, once that is finished, I think, I mean, I've got to do another book, because obviously this book is so great, hopefully. People are going on another one.
And so, the thing I love about this is, you know, you sort of chart your progress from being a very young child, where you started off with Lego and you'd be building bits with it, even if you didn't have all the pieces, or you wouldn't even read the instructions, you'd build something else. So, you know, it's coming up to half term, isn't it, for a lot of children? So you think parents should encourage their children to just, you know, tinker with things, and actually, make whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should be curious, and kids particularly. And I think, obviously, you need to sort of embrace that curiosity and let the kids just get on with it.
But I think it's got to be in the genes a bit. I mean, your dad was a rocket scientist, wasn't he?
Absolutely, yes. He worked on the first UK satellites, so he was a proper genius. I haven't quite managed that, but, you know, it's sort of, obviously, there's still bits of that.
I could just about change a puncture tyre and, you know, put the spare wheel on, stuff like that, and do some very basic stuff, but I couldn't do anything like this. Not because I haven't learned it, because I just couldn't do it.
I think anybody can do anything. It's just a case of actually applying yourself to things that clearly matter.
Like sofa cars, for example. What is absolutely phenomenal to sit here and also to look at it in progress there is just brilliant. Thanks so much for coming in to talk to us about that. We really appreciate it.
We're back tomorrow, aren't we?
We are indeed.
6
o'clock. We shall see you then. Here's Lorraine. Bye-bye.